We might be getting a relief in inventory. Thousands of homeowners are about to get slammed with higher monthly payments. We'll talk about that, as well as it's never been easier to build a home in a backyard home in San Jose, and list price reductions, Los Gatos home of the week, and Tuesday's highs and lows. Let's get moving here. Thousands of homeowners are about to get slammed with higher monthly payments. Now, it's not a very pretty look at this article here, but what's happening is people buy ARMs or adjustable rate mortgages, and they're locked in for 5 years. And after 5 years, they go up and down, depending on the rate. There's a cap on that. Like sometimes it's a 0.5%, sometimes it's a 1% per year. So if you got a 2%, but it's an ARM, after 5 years, it might go up to 2.5 or 3. And then after that, it'll go up to 4. And after that, it'll go up to 5, depending on what it is. Your rate up to the equilibrium of what the market is. Good news is if it goes down, if the rates do go back down, then your rates will go down too. And typically ARMs are interest only payments. So that's something you also have to be aware of, that although you're saving money on your monthly payment, you're not putting money towards your principal. So I always say pay off your loan, pay off your mortgage as quickly as possible, and move forward with that. There's other schools of thoughts where you take the money that you could be saving and put it into another property or into another investment that generates income for you. Absolutely. Schools of thoughts. Don't listen to me. Listen to your financial advisor, listen to your tax accountant, listen to your lawyer, and understand what strategy works best for you. Let's say your monthly payment is $2,000 a month and your ARM goes up a percent. Well, these ARMs after 5 years will go up. That means your interest payment, your monthly payment will go up 1%. It could be a lot, depends on the value. So 1% over 3 or 4, let's say you're stuck at a 4%, and goes up to 5.5%, 5%, your payments are going to get more expensive. That could help with the inventory problem. Or when we first got into this house, we weren't making a ton of money, so we bought an ARM knowing that we would refinance eventually. And we did. After 5 years, we refinanced. But in this market, if you're going to refinance from a 3% to a 7%, your rates are going to go up much higher. So I think what's going to happen is that your monthly payments are going to stay the same. It's not good news for loan brokers or lenders, because if you have a 2% goes up to 3, or you have a 3% and goes up to 4, you would look into getting a refinance, and guess what? It's going to be 7%. So you're just going to be stuck there. What I would suggest you do is put an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month into it and pay down that principal. As painful as it is, pay down the principal unless you can't afford it. I understand. There's 1.7 million homeowners have bought homes with adjustable rate mortgages since 2019. I don't know what percentage that is. Doesn't really say. Fixed period for these ARMs has already reset for 328,000 homeowners, and 2 more loans will reset over the next 12 months. Typically, there's regulations in place that keep that from jumping up super high, like what's happening in Canada or what's happening in the commercial loan space. We're seeing a lot of pre-foreclosures in multi-million-dollar commercial properties, multi-million, like $30, $50 million properties are turning, and rents going up, rates are going up, taxes are going up, and the cost of doing business is going up. So people are walking away from multi-million-dollar homes. There's a building in San Francisco that was bought for $50 or $60 million, and it just got sold on the auction block for a mere $6 million, $6.5 million. So I went to an equity group who I think they're going to convert an office building into rental units. So something to be aware of. Be careful with your money, guys. A crazy thing. That segment, or this last segment, was brought to you by the Home Inspection Checklist. The link's down below. Go grab a home inspection checklist. Even if you're not thinking about selling right now, these are typically what inspectors will look for throughout the entire house, right? They want to make sure that you get the house, or they have to disclose everything that they can find that's wrong with the house. That's what an inspector does. It's their job. Don't take it personally, just their job. Their job is to help disclose for you. Some agents get pissed off. Oh, you can't say that. That's a bad agent. And there are agents out there that do that. I follow the inspector. He's out of Arizona, and agents tend to yell at him. But I always say over disclose. I would rather scare away a shitty buyer, or a buyer that's not fully committed to buying your house, and have less offers on our table than have it done. And here in Santa Clara County, we typically have the inspections done ahead of time. And this in no way, shape, or form should ever take the place of a professionally done home inspection. It just allows you to get inspection worthy things on the list so you can fix them and then disclose them. All right, so download it. It's never been easier to build a backyard home in San Jose. ADUs, accessory dwelling units, or granny shacks, or granny homes. This is a kind of a normal thing. And now what we're seeing are modular homes or pre-built homes being craned into properties after the foundation is set. Pop them on. It's a 1 or 2 day thing and you're up and running. And some people are liking it just for the extra space. Some people are doing it because they want an office away from the family. If people needed to get a hold of me in this situation, I would have a house for a little shed there. You can also put people there and add rent, which from a commercial standpoint helps build value to it. However, understand some people, just like when you buy a house with a pool, some people might not want to have a house with an ADU on it. It's extra income, it's extra property tax, it's extra, and it might not be worth the value. Some people will like it. Some people want a house with a pool. Some people don't want a house with a pool, and that's okay. Just realize that when you do that, it might put a stigma on your house and turn away a certain portion of the home buyers that are in the market at that time. It's just like houses with leased solar. Some people absolutely don't want to deal with that. Some people don't want to deal with solar at all. So when you put a big ticket item on it, and these are not cheap, these are $35,000 to $100,000, put a new ADU on it, or a solar system, or a pool, right? Some people want a pool, some people don't. I personally don't want. I'd rather have access to an association pool so I can go jump in the cool water over there and be done with it. That's just my taste. That's just me. If you want a house with a pool on it, we can help you find a house with a pool on it. If you want to find a house with it on it, absolutely. What San Jose has been doing has been making it a fast track permit application process. I sat on a board a couple of years back in Almaden and talked about the pluses and minuses of adding an ADU. And then the fire marshal required more water to come into the house. There needs to be more electrical that comes into the house. So there's some other things that have to attach to it. However, with the new fast track, San Jose's allowing a lot more leeway in those different aspects for the utilities. So just be aware of what you're buying into. And if you want to learn more about it, let me know. The reason why I chose this is because it backs right into Santa Teresa High School, which is my kids' high school. Been on market 18 days, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,274 square feet. It's a nice looking house built in 1964. Not my listing. It's original everything. Remember what I tell you about being a market maker or attracting the market to you. Now, what I can tell you that this agent did was he said your house is worth $1.6 million. We should sell it. He or she, I don't know, whoever this agent is. But look, it's original condition. It's a split level. I've sold a few of these. These are really good, hardcore, great homes to have. But when you're selfish and greedy, you list it at 1.6, and then all of a sudden it's on the market for how many days? 18 days, and crickets. You get nothing. You're not taking into account the fact that it's original. You're not taking into account a lot of different things, and you're just being greedy and seeing big numbers in your eyes thinking, oh, I can sell this house. I'm going to make 1.6. That's what my house is worth because every other house is selling at that price. You're not doing a full in-depth CMA or comparable market analysis on the houses you're competing against, the houses that have sold. So overpromise, underdeliver. I would rather attract the market and get your house sold quickly without having to deal with lowering the price. So there you go. I don't care who puts this on the market. If you're a seller and you tell me that I don't care if we have to wait for the right buyer to come along, that's the wrong strategy to sell your house. You need to sell your house quickly with velocity, and you set the tempo. Los Gatos home of the week is Almendra. And again, the reason why I picked it is because it's walking distance to downtown Los Gatos. This is nice. It's built in 22, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,500 square feet. Not my listing. You have a little driveway with 2 garages in the back. It looks all brand spanking new. Oh, there's a nice negative. It's right next door to a commercial property. See, the problem with that though is when you're next to a commercial property, you have to take that into account. And look, it's $5 million, right? Let's see what if I can do satellite. That's North Santa Cruz. So you're exactly walking distance to it. And I think it's overpriced. But it's brand spanking new on market. Oh no, 54 days on market. Why is it sitting there? I don't care how new it is. You have some things that you have to worry about, right? You have a lot more traffic that you have to deal with. And quite frankly, that kitchen is fugly. And there's not a whole lot of backyard. You got a nice little ADU. That's nice. But look, guys, that's just way too dark for that small of a room. I believe that's virtually staged. Yep, that's virtually staged. All right, there you go. I have to get that for you real quick. In Santa Clara County is $12 million. The lowest sold is 677. The lowest house for sale is 600 or 444,000. Let me see if I can pop this open real quick. All right. Okay. Let's see. We're just going to deal with this right now. Full May Drive, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, Morgan Hill, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 915,000 square feet, about 2,000 square foot lot, and HOAs. Gotta love it. This is a 55 plus community. Pluses and minus to 55 plus communities. This is just an HOA, right? They're just trying to keep it so that this is down. You might have a clubhouse, not a lot to it. But there you go. Okay, what's the next one? This one's still active. Waverly is still active. Greenwood is the highest, sold in 73 days. 7-bedroom, 8.5 bath, 8,200 square feet with an ADU on 1 acre and built in 2024. So it's all brand spanking new. I think we looked at this one. Yeah, it's nice. And then the last one is the lowest for sale. It's the same one on Loma Chiquita. It's a compound, very basic, 444,000. The original was 600,000, 215 days on market. You're getting 5 acres of land, but here's the tough part. It's far away from everything. You're like an hour out once you get to the mountain, to the hills. Doesn't matter how you get there. It's going to take you forever to get there. So it might be a good bug out place if nuclear bomb happens. But yeah, there you go. Today we talked about interest rates might be going up. ARMs might be resetting or setting to go higher, which is already starting to happen. ADUs might be an option for you. It could add value, something you have to think long and hard about. Are you ready to have a renter, or do you just want it for yourself? Completely up to you to do this. And guys, understand that these links that I'm sending you, they're all in the blog. So just jump on over to the blog and it'll get you right to these articles. And list price reduction,